Usually when I talk fantasy football, it's about value, or diamonds in the rough. But that's not what this is. Today, we're talking about the Alamo. Not the actual Alamo, but the absolute last stand that you'll find for players in your rookie Dynasty drafts. Welcome to Shut Up Football. I'm Jeff Stoltzfus. That's Kevin. I recently had my Dynasty rookie draft, and I have thoughts. Thoughts that I'd like to share with you in hopes that they'll help you with your rookie drafts. And yes, we will be going over defense today too, so all you IDP junkies, stick around until the end. And all you regular junkies, seek help. Grab your lines. We're going fishing in a wishing well. I won't bother with listing the actual round that they were drafted in my draft. That's inconsequential to you. Just know that they were all drafted in the 6th or later rounds, and that they were drafted in the order in which I'm presenting them here today. Or in some cases, weren't drafted at all. As you would expect in a superflex league, all the best quarterbacks were taken inside the top 5 picks. Others would get picked off along the way, but here are the two that fell the farthest. Aidan O'Connell, 4th round pick by the Las Vegas Raiders, and Jake Haener, 4th round pick by the New Orleans Saints. That's pretty good, actually. I avoid taking quarterbacks I don't see as starters, but you could do a lot worse than these guys. They're the future Jarrett Stidhams and Colt McCoys of the league. They're never gonna get the keys to a franchise. However, they're backing up Jimmy Garoppolo, Derek Carr, Jameis Winston, and Brian Hoyer this year. If your quarterback room is anorexic, maybe you'd find value in a late-round dart throw at one of these guys. There's not a 0% chance they will ever see the field at some point. However, if you're like me, and you'd rather not waste valuable draft picks on TJ Maxx quarterbacks, there were still a couple of choices, believe it or not. Sean Clifford, 5th round pick by the Green Bay Packers, and Malik Cunningham, undrafted free agent, snagged by the New England Patriots. They didn't get drafted at all, and I'd say Sean Clifford's path to seeing the field is actually better than O'Connell or Haener's, as he's likely the direct backup to Jordan Love. Is Clifford better than O'Connell or Haener? Nope. But I don't believe in any of these guys. Even Sean Clifford is just a post-draft waiver ad for me. Cunningham probably won't even make the 53. He's just a curious wrinkle for the team. I think Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi are both fine quarterbacks, and maybe photocopies of the same guy, which is why I like Cunningham here. He offers mobility neither the others do, but that's the ultimate reach, even on waivers. If you thought to yourself, I'm gonna be a sneaky little bugger and draft Sean Tucker late, good luck with that. The undrafted free agent is no secret. He went in the 3rd round in my league. Even as an injured, undrafted free agent, he got buzz on Twitter. The only name of note that fell was DeWayne McBride. The 7th round rookie for the Vikings was passed over multiple times for depth receivers, backup quarterbacks, and a host of defenders. I get it, the draft capital was insignificant, and he's 4th on the depth chart. Even if Dalvin Cook were to move, it would be the Alexander Madison and Ty Chandler show. But that's a talented running back to keep getting passed over and to fall so far. More than a full round later, people use the ass of the draft to throw darts at the following running backs. I'm behind the Deneric? How do you say that? Deneric? How do you say that? I'm behind the Deneric Prince pick. I was desperate for another back and figured Prince had the best upside with the Chiefs. All it takes is a good camp and he could crack the roster. I don't consider him a high upside guy, but I also don't consider the Chiefs' depth chart to be nigh impregnable. I certainly like his chances better than any other UDFA. And here's 3 more names that went completely undrafted in my league, but I'm sure will be popular waiver targets. I'm a little surprised that Lou Nicholls III, who was actually drafted by the Packers, lost out to some of those UDFAs. That was certainly a debate for me. I really like Nicholls. He's buried behind Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, which is probably why there's so little buzz on him, but I think he's worth a stash at low cost. I really like Keaton Mitchell, but he's undersized, and I'm skeptical of any Ravens tailback getting any passing volume. If you need a running back this year, and the previous names all scare the crap out of you, just know that Tank Bigsby should be your last stand. After that, this is the landscape you'll be trimming. To orient you where we are in the draft right now, A.T. Perry, gone. Kayshon Boutte, gone. Trey Tucker, Tyler Scott, Charlie Jones, all gone. Sun is going down, and the vampires are about to come out. Here's how it all went down. I grabbed Xavier Hutchinson. He's one of my favorites. I might be on an island with that. His draft capital signifies as much. These guys all went in the same round. Parker Washington was the last wide receiver drafted, and we still had an entire round to go. This was the exhaustion of the position. I only had my eyes on one more receiver, Rakim Jarrett, and he was a UDFA. I may grab him off waivers, but it's not a high priority. The 2023 NFL Draft had a lot of good tight ends in it. However, at this point in my Dynasty draft, they're all gone. And drafting a tight end now is kind of like setting your pick on fire. Elijah Higgins was a 6th-round pick by the Miami Dolphins, and Zach Kuntz was a 7th-round pick by the New York Jets. If you're not familiar with these guys, Elijah Higgins was a wide receiver that's converting to tight end, which makes everybody get really excited. Darren Waller did the same thing, but that takes time. And also, Darren Waller is 3 inches taller, and it takes a lot for me to get excited about an undersized tight end. What did I just say? Kuntz is athletic as shit. He's tall as shit. And he's got the upside, but it won't be with Aaron Rodgers. Don't get enamored with his high RAS. This isn't the Olympics. He was a 7th-round pick for a reason, and there's a lot of development to take place. Kuntz is a stash for a distant future where an unknown QB runs the offense. There's one name missing here, and that's Will Mallory, 5th-round pick by the Colts. He was completely undrafted in our league, and I'll be looking to grab him off waivers. We all expect Jelani Woods to be the man for the Colts, but what if he's not? If you have a roster spot to burn or a taxi squad, I like Mallory better than Elijah Higgins and Zach Kuntz. Kuntz? What is it? Fuck that guy. He's just as buried as the other guys, but he's got better draft capital invested in him, and I think he's just too good not to stash. If you missed out on the first 4 D tackles in the draft, it makes sense that you just continue on with the 5th and 6th. Both Keaanu, Benton, and Gervon Dexter were drafted in the 2nd round. Benton looks the part, just an absolute mountain with legs, a perfect fit for the Steelers' defense. The Bears passed on Jalen Carter in the 1st and took Dexter in the 2nd. They had a need and they made a choice. We'll see how that plays out, but Dexter is a quality tackle. Kobie Turner was a 3rd-round selection by the Rams, and I just really like his tape. I don't feel like I missed out at all. If I can grab one of these guys off waivers, I'll be thrilled. The top 7 edge rushers were all taken in my draft. Just like the real NFL, there's a premium on rushing the passer. Even the 12th drafted edge, Byron Young, was taken for some reason. I don't know why. He's good, but I like these guys better. The Seahawks thought Derek Hall was a 1st-round talent, and they sniped him in the 2nd. He's been called an immediate starter. I think he's a great player who went to a great situation, and Seattle has been on fire with their draft picks lately. The Falcons took Zach Harrison in the 3rd round. I see him as another impact player on a defense that needs one. Both these guys are both high-priority waiver ads for me. After this, I think you're only looking at depth. Linebackers seem to be a very thin position this year, both in the real draft and in the fantasy one. Perhaps for the same reason, Jack Campbell went earlier than expected. Like, unreasonably early. Owen Pappoe was drafted late in my league. He's a 5th-round pick by the Cardinals. Noah Sewell was a 5th-round pick by the Bears, who went completely undrafted in my league. I'll be looking to pick him up, but I'm not spending high. Not a great year to expect impact rookies at the position. If you're looking late in your drafts, these are about the only ones I'd even consider for the future. The top 5 cornerbacks were all taken in my league. Christian Gonzalez was actually the last player selected for the entire draft. And maybe that's because it feels like there's a lot of good corners to go around. Here's a list of 4 guys that went completely undrafted in my league, and I'd be thrilled to have on my team. If you need a starting cornerback, you'll have to target Devin Witherspoon or Emmanuel Forbes. But if you can wait a year, I don't see a huge difference in just picking up one of these guys off the waiver wire. Smith and Moss have the most heat on their names right now. I think in time, both Blackman and Bennett can be quality starters too. Hey, it's a list of safeties. I really like Shamari Connor, 4th-round pick by the Kansas City Chiefs. And then of course there's Jamie Robinson. Is it Jamie? Is it Jamie or Jamie? It looks like Jamie. It's Jamie? Jamie would be better for a safety. None of these guys are starters in year 1. I like their long-term chances, but if you need a safety in your league, you're gonna have to go early, probably by the 4th. Oh yeah, also, Shut Up Football has a Discord server, So if you would like to connect with like-minded individuals and talk football, fantasy football, ask questions, whatever, go to the link in the description and you will find the Shut Up Football Discord server. That's a thing that exists now thanks to you guys. I'm really good at selling things. Thank you so much for watching Shut Up Football. We do appreciate it. Subscribe, like the video, say hi to your mom for me, and we'll catch you next time. Peace!
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boy.
That's probably good enough. I mean, if it's not, it's still gonna be the end. Fart.